young adult characters are so often kind of transformed in their narratives, like Katniss, who, becoming a warrior. I just wonder, when it comes to like exploring mental health specifically, because we are talking about genre-based storytelling with those maybe fantastical elements. Yeah, why do you think it's powerful to have characters who are in that transformative stage also experiencing a mental illness of some kind?
And I think it's almost the also is what I love there. So this idea that it's not the entire part of their identity, the sole signifier of their identity, which you often see in a lot of, again, contemporary realism when we're looking at genre. So it's the entire narrative is the problem narrative. It's about them coming to terms with their illness, either in denial, recovery, et cetera, et cetera. And I shouldn't dismiss them because, again, they are so important. They hold a place, but I'm being dismissive because, we've done like 20 odd, 30 odd, potentially 40 odd at this stage, years of discussing them and analysing them. Again, want to keep going with that. That's good. But what other opportunities, what other spaces are there? So yeah, I think it really hinges on that idea of the also. So this notion of we can have multiple engagements with our identity. We can be more than one thing. That's what I love about How It Feels to Float. We have Biz questioning her sexuality, and that being such a beautifully, again, fluidly done concept. And again, that rejection of labels. So engaging with them, considering them, but then rejecting them at the same time, and not necessarily in an entirely final way. And the same thing with Jasper throughout. So we have that ambiguity to it, which I think is really powerful. And we tend to see with YA that the Bildungsroman narrative of things coming to an end. So at the end of the book, we see that they have transformed, they've come into their own, and that's it. We won't see them again because once they've reached that point, they're outside of the YA sort of scope. So, and then of course we have, multiple sequels, which has to reset or recomplicate that. We think of something like Katniss. So yeah, I think it can be a really interesting standpoint to play with, this idea too of liminality, the fact that people are often contending with such a contentious point really in their lives, where they are emerging in multiple forms of their identity. So they're not just engaging with mental health, they might be engaging with first love, first crush, discovering their sexuality, discovering different forms of their gender or their identity as well. So yeah, I think it really just comes down to hinging on the opportunities for the also.